Imagine coming home to escape racism and violence, only to face something even darker.
We've been gone a long time.
Two twin brothers built their dream, a place where their people could feel safe.
We back now.
Dance freely, and just exist. But on opening night, he shot the woman he loved. To save his brother, she dropped dead. Then she stood up, laughed in his face, and walked away.
It can conjure spirits from the past.
His brother, bleeding out in the next room. What happens next turned an entire opening night into a bloodbath. These aren't just any brothers. They're identical twins who've been through war, witnessed death, and committed sins they'll never speak about. Stack was the enforcer, quicker to violence, harder edges. Smoke was the thinker, strategic, always planning 3 moves ahead. Together, they were unstoppable, but there's a breaking point for everyone. Coming back to Mississippi is complicated. This is where they were born, where their mother raised them alone, where they experienced their first taste of racial terror. A place of trauma. But it's also home. The land remembers them. The people remember them. When they arrive, Smoke immediately seeks out Annie, a woman who practices hoodoo. They married young before the war. Annie is different, harder. She lost their daughter to illness while Smoke was in Chicago. He thinks he can build something that honors her memory. A place of joy where families gather, where children grow up seeing Black excellence, where their daughter's spirit can finally rest. Before the war, Stack loved Mary, a woman light-skinned enough to pass for white. In 1920s Mississippi, that's not just complicated, it's lethal. And even though Mary was Black, she's light-skinned enough to pass as white. He knew loving her publicly could get them both killed. Stack made a choice. Disappear without explanation. No goodbye, no letter, just gone. He told himself it was to protect her. They spend weeks renovating, tearing down the machinery, sanding the floors, building a stage. Every nail they hammer is an act of reclamation. Delta Slim is their first hire. He's an old blues pianist, probably in his 60s, with hands that shake from years of drinking. When Smoke offers him the job, Delta Slim cries, "You sure you want me? I ain't been sure of myself in 20 years." Smoke tells him, "You don't need to be sure, just play." Sammie is harder to recruit. He's young, maybe 19, with a guitar that seems older than him. His father is a preacher who believes blues music is sinful, that it invites demons, that Sammie's gift is a curse from the devil. But when Sammie plays, reality shifts. It's not metaphorical. People who hear him say they see things, visions of ancestors, glimpses of futures that haven't happened yet, shadows moving in corners where there's no light source. They also hire Cornbread, a jovial cook who makes the best fried catfish in 3 counties, Grace, a waitress who's escaping an abusive husband, and Bo Chow, a Chinese immigrant who found community with Black folks because both groups understand exclusion. This isn't just a staff, it's a collection of broken people trying to build something whole. The club is packed. Finally, their people have a space that's theirs. The music pulses. People are dancing, laughing, forgetting, even for a moment, that they live in 1932 Mississippi, where they can be lynched for looking at someone wrong. Then 3 strangers appear at the door. They're pale, Irish, oddly formal. Their leader, Remick, offers money, compliments, asks politely to enter. Smoke refuses. Something feels wrong. His instincts scream danger. But here's the thing about predators. They don't give up. They just wait. The seduction. Mary walks through that door. She's radiant, forgiving. She doesn't ask Stack where he's been or why he left. She just wants to dance. What Stack doesn't know? Mary died hours ago. She leads him to a private room. They're finally alone after years of longing. She kisses him. He closes his eyes. When he opens them, her teeth are in his throat. The horror unleashes. Smoke hears screaming, bursts through the door, sees Stack dying, shoots Mary dead. She falls. Blood pools. Then, she sits up, looks at Smoke, and laughs. That laugh isn't just horror, it's mockery. It says, your bullets mean nothing. Your strength means nothing. Everything you think protects you is a lie. In the transformation, Stack wakes up changed, not just physically, psychologically. He feels the hunger. But worse, he feels connected to Remick and every other vampire outside. Their thoughts bleed into his. Their hunger is his hunger. And here's the cruelest part. Stack still loves Smoke, still wants to protect him. But now, he also wants to feed on him. Imagine your deepest love and your darkest craving aimed at the same person. If someone you loved came back changed, could you let them go? Or would you try to save them, even if it destroyed you? Comment below what you'd do. And if you're loving this deep dive, drop a like. Everyone who steps outside gets turned. Cornbread begs to be let back in, his voice still familiar, but his eyes are wrong. He scratches at the door, crying, "Please, it's me. Let me in. I'm scared." When they crack the door, he lunges for their throats. Bo Chow tries to run, gets turned. One by one, the dream dies. Smoke watches Annie fall apart. She lost her daughter. Now she's watching him lose hope. She uses every bit of folk magic she knows. Pickled garlic juice, prayers, protective charms. But deep down, she's thinking, is this punishment? Did we sin by wanting too much? Annie reveals the truth. These are vampires, and killing Remick won't turn the others back. They're gone forever. Bakes in Remick's offer. Remick speaks through the door. You think we're monsters? We're free. No Jim Crow, no lynchings, no white man's boot on your neck, forever. It's psychological warfare, because he's not wrong. Smoke and Stack escaped war and the mob, only to return to a place where their own government wants them dead. Remick whispers, "Join us, and you'll never be afraid again." Delta Slim knows he's dying anyway. Years of drinking killed him slowly. He makes a choice. Open the door. Let them feast on him. Give the others time to prepare. Sometimes love looks like dying, so others can have 10 more minutes. Stack tries to convince Smoke, "Come with me. We'll survive together. We'll be powerful together." But Smoke sees the truth. Stack is gone. The person staring back at him shares his face, his memories, but something essential, something human, has been hollowed out. How does Smoke kill someone who has his exact face, who he shared a womb with, who took bullets for him? Every stake he drives into vampires, he imagines it's Stack. Every vampire that falls, he wonders, could I have saved them? Smoke is fighting racist monsters and supernatural monsters at the same time. When Smoke and Stack finally fight, it's not cinematic. It's desperate, ugly. They're both crying. Smoke stakes his vampire brother, and here's what destroys him. Stack's last words are "I love you." Not as a manipulation, but as truth. Because vampirism didn't erase his humanity. It twisted it into something monstrous. The aftermath. Dawn breaks. Smoke dies from his wounds. Smoke shoots Hogwood and the racist gang on his way out, taking his oppressors with him. His last vision? His dead daughter, smiling, calling him home. He spent so long trying to build something beautiful, and all it did was invite death. Sammie survives, shell-shocked, blood-soaked. His father demands he destroy his guitar and beg God's forgiveness. Sammie walks into church, guitar still strapped to his back, strings broken, covered in blood, and refuses to apologize. 60 years later, Stack and Mary visit old Sammie at his Chicago Blues Club, still trying to reconnect, still lonely. Stack is still looking for smoke in every face. Sammie refuses immortality because he learned something that night. Living forever doesn't mean you're free. Sometimes the bravest thing is accepting that you're human, fragile, and temporary, and loving anyway. Stack's final line haunts. That night was the last time we truly saw the sun. So here's what I want you to think about. Remick offered them freedom from racism, from death, from fear. Stack took it and lost his soul. Sammie refused immortality and kept to his humanity. Smoke died trying to save everyone. Which choice was right? Is there even a right answer? Because here's the real horror. Sometimes every option leads to loss. Sometimes survival costs everything that made life worth living. This is Sinners. 16 Oscar nominations, the most in history. If this breakdown hit different, subscribe for more deep dives into films that actually make you feel something.